It was great to finally find a place where I belong. I am neurodiverse, and my previous work hadn't enabled me to make the most of my strengths or who I am. My first day at Australian Spatial Analytics was different. I was apprehensive, but as I spoke to people and saw the work firsthand, I learnt on the job really quickly. I now use mapping and analytics software for asset management and navigation. This work gels really well with my skills and interests in computer technology. I am super happy that I found these guys, and my perspective on what a career can be has changed. Everyone is valued, and everyone gets individual attention and training. It's a relaxed environment, and I love coming to work. Their focus is people and well-being. I would consider my colleagues my friends. I hope they're cool with that. We connect on different levels and help each other out. ASA has given me stability and a better future, and feel empowered and appreciated. I've gone from wondering where I would be in a few years to being happy with where I am right now.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this morning. We apologise for those technical issues. Always happen at the most inconvenient times, but thank you so much for joining us. My name's Seath Holswich. I'm a People Success Officer with Australian Spatial Analytics, and I'll be your host through our session this morning. You may have already seen that this session is being recorded so that people can view it back later. We have had a few people who registered for today say to us that they're no longer able to make it. So we hope that you're able to enjoy this presentation later on once we can share it as well. If we move to the next slide. Before we start, we'd just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet. We pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. And that's a very important thing for us across all of our sites at Cairns, Brisbane, Melbourne and Adelaide. Next slide, please. Our agenda for this morning, very briefly, we will go through a little bit about Australian Spatial Analytics as an organisation. We'll give a couple of project overviews, and we have a couple of our lead data analysts who will do those for us. We'll talk about recruitment pathways with ASA and how you can prepare yourself or your job seekers for applying for work at ASA. We'll talk a little bit about work experience opportunities, and then we'll have question and answer time. So hopefully you've seen this QR code coming up already, and you've had an opportunity to go to that site. Otherwise, go to the website, slido.com, enter the code that is there, and you'll be able to ask questions there. Obviously, Zoom has question and chat facility as well, but we would ask if you can keep all the questions to that link. That way there we can keep them all in one place, and whatever we don't get a chance to answer today, we can answer after the session in writing as well. Next slide, please. I'll hand over now to Daniel Shields, who's our Acting Chief People Officer, to give you a bit of an introduction to ASA as an organisation. Thanks, Daniel.
Thank you. So thank you all for coming, and I won't take up too much of your time because we want to get onto the super interesting projects that we've got that the team will talk you through today. So ASA as an organisation has been set up simply to create jobs for neurodiverse individuals who may have faced barriers to employment. So these barriers can include not being able to secure a job at all, or having a job where you may not have been fulfilling your full potential. So for many of our team, they might have worked in warehousing jobs, cafes, or simply only been volunteering, but ultimately they might want a career in tech, and that's sort of where we step in. Go to the next one. So neurodiversity is a thing that you'll see popping up throughout our slides, and what we want to do here is just give you, I guess, our definition of what neurodiversity means. And quite simply, that's the variation in human brains and the different ways that people think, learn, and process information. And you'll see that's made up of that umbrella on the right-hand side there, which includes the autism spectrum disorder, ADHD, dyslexia, dyspraxia, dyscalculia, as well as Tourette's as well. Go to the next one. So ASA was started about, well, we're now 4 years ago. It's a new year, 2024. And since then, we've expanded out from Brisbane to Melbourne, which is where I am, up to Cairns and our newest office over in Adelaide. So we're one of the fastest growing work integrated social enterprises in Australia. We work in geospatial and engineering data services, and we have a team of over 120 people working across those 4 sites. Importantly, and you'll see down the bottom there, we pay full award wages and we work on real life projects. So we're not running a short course, we're not running a boot camp or anything like that. ASA is a place for people to come and work, earn a real wage, and have an opportunity for a very long and successful career as well. And when we look at ASA as an organisation, there's some important stats that we want to sort of talk to. So we have 120 employees, and 80% identify as being neurodivergent. So for more than half of the team, this is their first job, and for 61%, they've had long-term unemployment before they started here. And one of the things that we're super proud of is those last 3. So we've had 50 people that have been able to transition into permanent part-time or full-time roles with us. On average, the team are working 28 hours a week, so that's 4 days. And we've had 7 members of the team manage to leave their disability support pensions, which is as a result of increased employment and wages working with us. When I started about 18 months ago, there was only, I think, about 40 people. So we've had amazing growth, and that's sort of where we're up to today. And so with the work that we do, what we're looking at is the strengths that neurodivergent folks can bring to the kinds of work that we undertake. So we're talking about attention to detail, technology skills, memory, task orientation, focus, hyperfocus, spatial pattern recognition. All of these things come in handy for the kinds of projects that we work on. And so why not get people to do things that they're good at? So this is just sort of a couple of our clients, just to give you a bit of an overview of the kind of work that we undertake. So you'll see there's a couple of government organisations in there. We also do some map digitization, so that's sort of working with agricultural clients as well as construction design drawings for folks like Acciona and Ventia there as well. But we're going to have Amie, who's going to talk you through one of our projects to give you a bit more detail on the kind of work and talk you through that in a bit more, give you a bit more information about it. So I'll hand over to Amie.
Thanks, Daniel. Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm a lead data analyst in the Cairns office, and I'm just going to give a quick project overview of a project that the team up here worked on last year. So it was a 12-week project. We were given the task of validating roads and addresses. So these were existing data sets, and we were basically going through and checking how accurate they were. So the Department of Resources gave us data sets for the Sunshine Coast Regional Council, and the aim of the project was to improve the data quality and then create data to inform users on accessibility. And we did this by identifying any incorrect road and address data and then creating accurate access points to each property. So you go to the next slide, please. So this is sort of how we went about fulfilling that aim. So the first box at the top, you can see that line there is a road feature. And the first one on the left there is just a straight road, but we can see from the imagery underneath that it actually loops around. So what we did was correct that and loop the road around. So yeah, we were tasked with doing this for the whole Sunshine Coast Regional Council, or as much as we could within 12 weeks. And once we'd corrected the road geometry, we then moved on to fixing attributes. So in GIS, which is Geographic Information Systems, each feature has their own set of attributes, which is basically just data and information on the feature itself. So because we're working on roads, the attributes were things like the type of road, so whether it was a bridge or a roundabout, the surface type, so whether it was concrete, asphalt, or if it was dirt, and then like the lane count as well. So once we'd fixed up the road geometries, so fixing the lines, we then fixed up the attributes so that they matched what the imagery was showing us. We then went on to do addresses, which I don't have a picture of here, but it was basically just checking the existing address data set and whether they were matching what we could see on the imagery. So once we'd done all this, it was then time to connect the road data and the address data. So this time we were creating features, and we did this by placing a point where the driveway frontage was for an address, and then another point where you would access that driveway on the road. So you can see on the pictures there, the driveway frontage and access point, and we would then draw a line to connect these. So this would provide information for things like emergency services to better access addresses. If you go to the next slide, please. So the outcome of all this, so over 12 weeks of work, we successfully delivered a more accurate road data set, which included up-to-date information on 21,000 plus road features. We validated and created 43,000 addresses, and we created accurate and up-to-date information on where properties can be accessed with 100,000 plus access points. So this was a mammoth effort, and you can see I've got some little reviews there from the people at the Department of Resources that were really happy with our work. So for the team, this provided new skills in ArcGIS. So half of our team members actually started only a week before this project kicked off. So they'd never seen a GIS interface before or program before. And it was really fantastic because we could teach them the skills and then apply it directly to a real world project. And yeah, it's something that we obviously supported them with a new GIS, a new program to use. And yeah, I mean, the stats speak for themselves, and the team did an awesome job. And then we were able to provide the Department of Resources with improved road data and address data. And that's been done. So I think I'm passing over to Charles now, who's going to talk a bit more about another project that we are completing up in the Cairns office.
Yes, hello. So another one we're doing in the Cairns office is with a partnership with Ventia, and more specifically the NBN on-demand network. Next slide, please. Yep. So it is under the broader scope of digital engineering and the fiber tech side of things. So we're using computer software to digitize some real world infrastructure. In this case, it is the NBN on-demand network. And so we assist Ventia with the delivery of these services. We do the as constructed or the as built and the design work. And so the scope of this project does frequently expand as well. Next, please. Yep. And so these are some of the parts for that project and what it looks like on the computer that we use. So on the left, you'll see what the CAD drawing comes to us like and what we have to redesign and make sure that the cable goes in the right direction, it's in the right trench, and that people have claimed the right amount of materials for that, which is what you can see over on the left, on the right. And that is the bill of materials and the bill of quantities as well, so that we can double check that everyone's putting the right amount of things in the ground and not claiming too much or too little, or had a different change of plan and now is doing different things. Next, please. So it comes to us in what's called a red line markup, which is what you can see in the before here. And so it can be a little overwhelming at times, and you don't really know what all the notes are supposed to say and supposed to do. And sometimes they just don't give you enough information, but we have to work with Ventia and within our team to clean that up, and it transitions into what you see in the after state right there, so that it's a little less confusing and easier to read. Next, please. And so the outcome of this is that the team members in both Cairns and other offices have gained very valuable and high demand skills, such as CAD drafting and management and PNI, which is like a Ventia's own service and the live network being able to work with them. And so a lot of people have actually transitioned into similar fields, for example, Telstra, PowerLink, and the like. I think that's me.
ASA has been working with Ventia for a couple of years now. Started off with a fairly small project around the NBN, and that's since expanded out. Probably 2 or 3 different industries that Ventia are across as well. We started the Melbourne office about 12 months ago and grew from 0 up to about 25 now, so we probably outgrew our old office, and Ventia kindly sort of offered us to come and work and share some space with the rest of the team. I guess a big part of what we're trying to do is to upskill young neurodivergent individuals to help them find long-term careers, get some experience, get some skills, and a part of what we're building out is a transition model so that they can go and work with either our clients, such as Ventia. So that means that they can build their confidence working outside of ASA's environment. It means that we can have impact across the country a lot quicker than we would if we were sort of relying on our own offices to build this out. I mean, there's obviously the cross collaboration piece, which is that for a lot of the team are actually working on projects with members of Ventia. So even though we were only up the road, we're now just across a couple of desks. So being able to sort of get that knowledge, get that training, get that support sort of firsthand is going to be a big benefit to everybody. And another part of that is just not constricting ourselves to just working in our own space. So we're going to be able to sort of benefit from working in a bigger office, meeting new people, and sort of building a lot of that soft skills that the team are working on as well.
Thank you, Amie and Charles, for giving us a rundown on some of the project work that we do up in Cairns. So as they mentioned, both of those wonderful people, our lead data analysts, are based up in the Cairns office. So now for the really exciting part, how do we get involved with ASA? And I'll pass back to Daniel.
Thank you so much. So what I'm going to talk through is, I guess, some of the ways that you can prepare either for the interview itself or some little tips and tricks for your resumes, either here or anywhere else. So here at ASA, we teach everything from scratch. So as Amie said, some of the team members had only just started the week before, and so we teach you everything that you need to know. But what we are looking for is some of those transferable skills, which you may have learnt volunteering or in a previous role, or even just at high school, as well as attitude. We want people that want to be here and want to learn, as well as aptitude. So again, we're not talking about having the skills before you start, but the capability to be able to learn them. So we're just going to have a look at a resume. So this is a quick example of, I guess, a standard resume that might come across our desks. And what you'll see there is there's no experience in technology. So they haven't been a geospatial analyst or a digital engineer before, but they have had a previous role. So they've committed to that role, and it's demonstrating, I guess, a commitment to wanting to have a career. But you'll see that they have put down that they play video games. And so a lot of the projects that we work on require a comfort with technology and to learn new skills. And we find that quite often people that are good at video games also have those skills around teamwork, spatial reasoning, and they can pick up the technology quite quickly. And so one of the things that we would want to say to people is to try and put as much information as you can on your resume that you think might be relevant. And that includes both employment and volunteering commitments that you might have had. Because what that's showing is that you've been able to stick to a routine, stick to a schedule. And it's important for us because we are running projects for clients. They expect us to be able to deliver the work, and we can teach you how to do that. But your commitment to us is that you're going to get out of bed and show up each day as well. So because many of the team are coming in, again, without perhaps professional work experience or specifically work within technology, we use a different kind of approach to help us filter through some of the applicants that we might receive. And we do this with computer activities. So these are skills-based assessments rather than solely looking at people's resumes. It's a series of games. And so these games look at skills like focus, pattern recognition, speed and accuracy. So these are all the same skills that will help you succeed when you work at ASA. And the second part is that we have a questionnaire. So the questionnaire simply helps to gauge your sort of interest in the role, as well as to express yourself in, I guess, a written format, which we sometimes find that the team are more comfortable with before having a chat in person. But there is an interview, and we do make some little changes, I guess, compared to a traditional interview process. I've just come back from a couple of interviews, and they're always fun. And one of the ways that we might make people feel more comfortable is by sending those questions in advance. So we give people at least 48 hours notice, so you can have a read, have a think, and those questions cover a whole range of different things. And a big part of what we're trying to do by asking these questions is to learn about you as an individual and the things that you're interested in. And so we ask about what activities do you like to do outside of the workplace? What is your dream goal or career? But we also ask about reasonable accommodations, which is what can we do to help you either get or maintain and sustain a career or a job here at ASA. The most common request we get is for headphones, and the majority of the team are wearing headphones, which helps maintain that concentration while they're in the office. After you've had the interview, we always do follow up and provide you some feedback. So we'll give you a date that you should expect to hear from our recruitment team. And we do give feedback as to why you might have been unsuccessful this round. Now, one of the things that's very important is that you're not banned from ever applying at ASA again, so you're more than welcome to come back in 6 months and have another shot. So this is just the easy way to how to apply. So there's the careers inbox there, so careers@asanalytics.com.au. And so you can send through your resume anytime, and that will stay on our sort of recruitment pool. And when opportunities do come available, those are the first people that we contact to let them know that vacancies have popped up. We also do have various social media that you can follow. And again, we'll post any casual vacancies that we might have through those different channels as well. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to hand back to Seath, who's going to talk to you about our work experience program, which is super exciting.
Fantastic. Thanks, Daniel. So what we're doing in 2024 is we're going to offer a formal program of school work experience. So we have done a little bit of work experience in the past when opportunities have arisen, but we want to do that and I guess do it a bit better this year. So there's a couple of different opportunity types. The first being an in-person office tour. So if you'd like to actually see or bring your candidates or your child or whoever through our Cairns office to have a look at what we do and how we're situated there, then we can make that happen. So that would obviously suit some just small groups coming through there. But the other thing we're going to offer later this year, and it says there hopefully starting in term 2 or 3 this year, is 5-day work experience placements. So initially these will be open to students in years 11 and 12. We want to expand further than that, and we want to make it available eventually even for people who are beyond school age and want that work experience opportunity. But I guess we've got to start somewhere, and so we'll start with students in years 11 and 12. The dates will be negotiable depending on when different schools do their work experience blocks, but there will be limited opportunities. So we'll send out more information about that, and it will be on our social media as well as that gets closer later this year. Is there one more slide there? What will they do during the work experience placement? A little bit of everything. So they'll be involved in our team meetings, any internal training that's happening in different office events. But I think the really exciting thing is that we'll have a project for students to complete during this time. So it's roughly a 20 to 25 hour project. It's based on the actual work that our analysts undertake. And as part of that, you'll learn the basic skills. So you don't have to have any skills to start with. You will learn through a step-by-step process those skills as you go. And at the end of it, you'll have a completed project to take away and be able to show, look, this is what I was able to do during this week. And you can see on the right-hand side there, just a snippet of that work experience program. So as I said, we'll provide more information about that as the year progresses, but certainly if you know students in years 11 and 12 who might be interested, then yeah, we'd love to hear from them. Next slide, please. We'll move now into question time, and I noticed that there have been a few questions coming through on Slido, so we'll get to as many of those as we can. We will start with, someone mentioned people success staff. What is it that they do? I'm actually going to hand over to Helen for this one. Helen is our people success officer based in Cairns. So yeah, Helen, let us know a bit more about what you do.
Hi everyone. Yes, I'm the People Success Officer, or otherwise PSO, in the Cairns office. So we get this question a lot: what PSO do, which is is a bit of a difficult question to answer, just because you won't find this position in many other organizations, which is also what's really great about ASA as well. So as people success staff, we support our analysts' well-being and helping them adapt to the workplace. We acknowledge that there are a lot of challenges that our analysts will face in the workplace. A lot of them have been out of work for an extended period of time. So we have a PSO in each office to support them in learning about the workplace, as well as developing some soft skills that are important to their career. So yeah, we're really focused on the people side of things, and we also sitting in a different department than the service delivery team. So where analysts, data analysts, and lead data analysts will sit. So that makes your one-on-one with PSO a safe space for you to bring up any challenges that you might be facing while you're working with ASA, whether that's communication with your manager or any personal challenges that you're going through. So yeah, we're focused on the people development side of things. Hope that answers that question.
Fantastic, thank you, Helen. I'll also add to that, my role is partly as a people success officer, but partly as a transition coordinator as well. So one of the things that we firmly believe in is giving people the opportunity to move to the next stage of their career. And so my role is almost as an in-house employment coach to help each of our analysts who want to progress in their career to take those next steps. So whether it's preparing for interviews, getting their resume together, building a strong LinkedIn profile, linking them with future employers, all of those sort of things. So we want to make sure that that happens in a supportive environment, and that's a big part of my role. Next question. Are ASA an inclusive workplace for the LGBTQIA+ community? Daniel, I might pass this one to you.
Yeah, for sure. So one of the things that's super important for the whole team at ASA is that we've created an environment for people to be themselves and to have genuine acceptance within the workplace. And a big part of that is, of course, around gender and sexual identity and diversity. So we do have a LGBTQIA+ group that is run by a group of our analysts, and I believe Helen overlooks it from sort of a support staff side of things. And it's been a super exciting thing for us to introduce. The team put that together and are currently working on a number of little initiatives, including pronoun pins, as well as making changes to sort of even our own internal HR systems to make sure that we can keep track of all of that information appropriately, as well as celebrating things like Wear a Purple Day as well. So it's definitely something that we're super proud of, and it's a great initiative as well that's been run by the team.
Thanks, Daniel. While you're there and before you put yourself back on mute, the next question is, how old are you focused on? I'm turning 31 and starting to wonder if that's out of the focus range.
Yeah. So the average age for someone starting at ASA is around 23, 24, I'd say. But that being said, we don't cut people off. So 31, you're younger than me, so I'm still going to say you're young. You can go and work at ASA. Because again, for many of the team, they have faced either long terms of unemployment or underemployment, and that doesn't just go away as soon as you hit 30. So certainly not out of the question.
Wonderful, thank you. The next two questions here I'm going to pass over to Mac. Mac is our recruitment coordinator within our HR team. So the two questions here: when will vacancies be open in Cairns? And the second one, is the talent pool location based? I'm able to move to most of Australia with little notice. Thanks, Mac.
Yeah, certainly. Thank you for that, Seath. So regarding Cairns, currently there's nothing that we have plans for right now, but in saying that, there's always something coming up, always something on the horizon. So, always a good idea to, express your interest and reach out and hopefully get that in our talent pool. Regarding our talent pool itself, though, so it is a national talent pool. We actually have an index of people from around the nation. What we'll generally do is when a role comes up in a city, we'll reach out to the candidates that are on that list from that location and bring them for an interview. If you are willing to relocate around the country or, for the role, the best advice I would give would be to reach out to us throughout the careers page on our website, the careers portal there. You'd be able to actually reach out and contact me directly, and we can have maybe a conversation and see what location could suit you best and go from there.
Wonderful. Thank you, Mac. All right, one more question here at the moment. I'm currently a TAFE student doing 17 hours in class. Are hours flexible to accommodate this? Daniel, can I pass that one over to you?
Oh, I'm back. Yes, so quite a few of the team are studying or return to study. So I guess on a standard working day, we work Monday to Friday, 9 till 4:45, and for many of the team, that means that they can do 2 days at uni or TAFE, and then we'll come to work for 2 days at ASA. So one of the benefits of, I guess, starting off in a casual contract with ASA is that you can choose the days that you'd like to work or are available to work, and then we can sort of work around that schedule as to when you're getting rostered on. So yeah, certainly not a problem.
Wonderful, thank you. Well, that's all the questions that are up on Slido at the moment. But what we're going to do is we'll leave that open until the end of tomorrow. So if there are things that you think of after this session that you want to ask, then please feel free to ask them on there. And what we'll do, everyone who has registered for this session, we will send you through a question and answer document. We'll also let you know when the recording of this is online so that you can view it again, or you can send the link through to other people who want to watch it. We can also send you a copy of the PowerPoint presentation if you'd like to receive that as well. So I'll send all of that information out in an email after this session. But yeah, if you've got more questions, then please feel free to keep asking them. And if the Slido has closed off, you're always welcome to contact us at the contact details that are on our website, and we'd love to have a chat with you. So look, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. We do really appreciate it. We've got a wonderful team up in Cairns, and I know the time will come when we continue to recruit at Cairns and at all our other offices, as well as our projects and our client base builds. So thank you for taking the time to get to know us a little bit more, and yeah, we hope to have contact with you down the track, and I hope that we can assist in whatever way is appropriate. Thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of your day.